All right, I wanted to make a video on the somewhat new Milwaukee Packout, the 15-inch structured tote. There's a few videos online, but I thought I'd kind of try and fill some gaps. There's some things those guys didn't really touch on here, so I'll try and go through it. And I'm gonna do most of this one-handed, so bear with me on the shakiness. But I think overall it's a good bag. It really nice canvas material that's going to be kind of hard to rip. One thing I do like is there's D-rings. There's 2 D-rings on every corner, and lots of things to latch on to. So if you're one of the guys that likes to kind of hang things off the bag, you can definitely do that with this one. So on the outside, we've got a pocket here. It's deep enough to where I can't even really get my hand all the way in there. This little hook here, I don't know what exactly that's for, but you guys will figure it out. On the left side of it, we've got the tape loop, and I'm pretty sure that could double as like a bottle opener, so that's good looking out, Milwaukee. And then over here, I just keep some markers and, random things I don't really, I'm not too worried about getting stolen off the side of the bag by a drywaller or something. So go over to this side. This end I don't really like. It's a little strange how they did this. This handle's pretty tough, and it makes it, especially when you start putting more than one screwdriver in there, it makes it a little strange to try and get tools in there. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's, just not going to work. So I would almost rather, not have the handle or not have this, and, put an extra like pouch on the outside or something like that. Because this, in my opinion, just really doesn't work. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. This side, there's no pocket on this side, but you do have this really nice padded material. So I'm assuming this is the end they want you, to put up against your hip while you're walking, and it is pretty comfortable. I've got, I would say probably, pushing 50 pounds of tools in here, and it is not uncomfortable. So, and for comparison's sake, I'm moving from a Tech LC. It did all right for, the past 3 years, but I've just grown out of it. So I thought I would upgrade, and it is, it doesn't look that much larger, but the Milwaukee definitely is taller. You have a lot more bandwidth for room inside, so I'm pretty happy about that. But we'll start in the main pocket. So I like this kind of door thing. This is not wasted space here. You can put things in this little pocket. You've got room for, I would say probably more skinnier tools, cat's paws, smaller screwdrivers, things like that. Once you start putting larger tools in here, they will run into the tools in the main pockets. And, this flexes enough to where it will obviously close. But especially if you have a drill, the whole center kind of has to remain open. So we're not putting any thick tools right here. But on the inside, it's nice and deep. You can see I've got an extra battery in there. There's some slots for screwdrivers on the sides, I think 2 on each side. And we've got some nice stretchy pockets up here, some D-rings inside, and then some smaller little slots for some small specialty tools and whatnot. You can see I've got a 12-inch basin wrench in there, so it will accommodate 12-inch tools really easily. The Packout, was kind of hitting the top, and that was pretty limiting. But this, I mean, you could get a little bit more than 12-inch tools in here, no problem. So, and then this center pocket back here is plastic for insulation knives or drywall saws, stuff like that, so it won't rip the fabric in the back, which I like. And then this is not necessary. I just kind of like it to keep everything tight and orderly. I do that in the Veto too, so that's definitely up to what you guys want to do. But I would say one of my biggest gripes with this bag is the magnet is pretty much useless. It really doesn't do anything, this would fall off if I was walking with it on there. And this does fall off. I've opened it up and the level's been like that. So definitely not happy with the magnet they put in here, especially for the price point. You know, this is an expensive bag. The Veto was $220 and this is pushing $270. So I think that magnet is just not acceptable for what you're paying. There's a few guys that said the magnet's amazing. I don't know what they're smoking, but it you know, I've put a number of things on there, a flashlight, some metal bits, and it hardly holds screws on. So you know, I'm not sure what they were thinking there, but I think they need to revise that if they're going to continue to charge this much money. So bear with me, let me close this up. You can see it does zip close pretty nicely. The Veto was, you know, it was a bit of a struggle with tools in there. You can see, you know, we're pretty tattered here, so it was definitely time to and I just kind of got annoyed with trying to close that thing all the time, and this zipper end actually broke on there. So, you know, at that time the warranty was gone. Anyway, shoulder strap nice and padded. This thing is, the handle is pretty, you know, robust. It looks like rivets, but it's little hex heads. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I do prefer the hook on the Packout, you know, just like that, nice and easy, but I'm sure there was some patent limitations that Milwaukee had to kind of figure out something else. So I think it's good. Let's flip around here to the back end. Try not to totally scratch my table. Again, more hooks on the outside, so tons of options to hang things. The bag came with 2 of these tape loops, which are obviously pretty well made. I like that a lot. This one I just stole off the Veto, so that does not come with the bag. Large pocket here. You know, you can fit some pouches, small specialty things you don't want to lose track of. Again, the bag really doesn't need these. I just kind of like them to keep everything tight. But you've got, you know, a number of pockets up here to keep smaller things you don't want to lose track of, and just for size sake, you know, I've got a bit set, I've got a laser, and a regular multimeter in there. So there's 3 large pockets in the back of this, and it's pretty easy to fit things. So, you know, I've got a basin wrench. These are not, you know, this is a good sized tool. It's hard. It was almost impossible to fit in the Veto, but you can see in this, it just slides right in, which is really, really nice. And same thing here. This was almost impossible to fit in the Veto. It was hitting the zipper, and you know, I have plenty of room here. So there is definitely more height for this bag. There's not as many pockets, but you have more height, and it's just, I don't know how they squeeze that much room on the inside, but you know, the outside dimensions look about the same as the Veto, but inside it's you know, there's a lot of room for things. So I would say this bag might not be meant for guys with a lot of small tools. I think it's more suited for guys with a smaller amount of large tools. There's not a lot of pockets in these, but it does a good job at managing larger tools, and you can fit a few tools in each pocket, as you can see. So I do like the bag. I'm not upset at how much I spent. I think, you know, I think it's important to invest in your tools, especially a tool bag. You're going to be using this every single day to make you money. So, you know, I like the bag. I think this side over here and the magnet is definitely something that needs to be addressed. If Milwaukee thinks they can charge that much money, I start to feel like I'm paying for that name a little bit more than I'm paying for the product. So, but overall, I think it's a good bag. I'm sure the layout will change a few times, you know, and see what I really like. I might end up getting an M12 Impact and put it in there instead. You know, I use both Milwaukee and DeWalt. I'm not really partial to one or the other. So whatever will fit in there nicely, I might end up using that. But I do think it's a good bag if you're doing service work. You know, this is set up for service plumbing, so if you're a service guy of any kind, I think this is a really good bag. It's comfortable to carry, you know, easy to manage and move around, and you got all kinds of options to kind of hang things off of, which is nice. So any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll see if I can figure it out.